So we've been talking about battery life on electric vehicles for a couple years now. And here's another third-party industry professional that's getting into detail and describing some of the facts about electric vehicle battery life. Do they degrade? Do they run out? Do they become unusable over time? And how do you protect your battery life to make sure that it lasts a long time? Great article. Everything you need to know about things that affect your vehicle's battery life and how to keep the battery in optimum condition. Again, this is a repeat of some things we've talked about in videos past, but this is an editor from Auto Week that gets into the details. Let's take a closer look at battery degradation and its causes. Look, if you have an electric vehicle, this device right here, this battery, is the most expensive and important part of the vehicle. Your electric vehicle does not have basically an engine like a regular ICE car has. It's got a battery and some electric motors. Battery degradation are just like battery packs in cell phones or notebook computers. They start to degrade over time. Just like everybody here has a cell phone and your battery will wear out over a few years. Your mobile devices, your laptop computers have batteries that degrade. Cars will do the same thing with electric vehicles. Why does it happen and how fast will it happen? That's the question. Depending on the car, extreme temperatures can mimic true battery degradation. Hot and cold temperatures have similar effects by reducing range and slowing charging speeds, right? So how do you preserve your electric battery pack? Here's some key things, and keep this in mind when you're switching from gasoline to electric. This could be a big deal. Park away from extreme weather and temperatures, extreme hot, extreme cold. Well, if you live in, let's say, the Northeast or the South or the Southwest, you may find that you can't avoid climate. You can't avoid weather. So you might have to park in a garage. Maybe if you can protect it from the most extreme temperatures, that'll help. If you have a chance, park your EV someplace out of the elements. Extreme temperatures reduce battery performance, and they can also degrade the lifespan of the battery. Try not to leave the car plugged in to fully charge every time. What that means is, in order to keep the battery lasting a long time, don't top it off. Like when you go to your gas station to fill up your car, you top off your tank so you can have the most range. Batteries are happiest in the middle charge state. Repeatedly operating at the top or bottom can cause damage. So don't top it off to maximum. Also, at the bottom end, completely emptying the battery can cause problems. So if you have a 200-mile range on your car, try not to plan your trip for 200 miles. Plan it for maybe 150. So you're not draining it out to zero. Another reason you don't want to cut it close is because you want to watch your charging speeds. Using the fastest charger isn't the best idea because it's convenient. Yes, you can get back to up to full charge, but ramming as much power into your battery causes wear and tear and can lead to premature failure. We did a video a couple weeks ago where one of the manufacturers will actually void your warranty if you do fast charging 3 consecutive times without doing a slow charge in between. So if you're going on a long trip, you might think, well, I can drive 200 miles, plug it in, blast the battery back to full, drive another 200 miles, blast it to full. You may want to back off on that a little bit. The same goes for discharge speeds. Repeatedly using launch controls or high speed can damage the battery quickly and eventually degrade the battery capacity. So how long do EV car batteries last? That's a big question. Well, most new electric vehicles have a warranty that's 8-year, 100,000 miles. But it's not a guarantee you'll have 8 years of trouble-free operation. Some manufacturers' warranties carry stipulations on battery condition or operation, so it's important to understand the warranty. Like we said, some manufacturers will say you can't use fast charging over and over, or if we see that there's any kind of operation that's outside of the owner's manual, it might void the warranty. But most batteries should have a life expectancy of at least 100,000 miles before showing noticeable signs of degradation. So if you have a battery that has 200-mile range, after 100,000 miles, it might come down to maybe 150 or 160. Most of the warranties guarantee up to 70%. So if you only have 80% reduction, they may consider that not to be a warranty claim yet. And they talk about some of the disadvantages of electric cars. We've talked about it. Access to charging, time to charge. That's a big deal. A lot of times people think that, well, I can't access a charger. That's the big problem. The biggest problem is how long it takes to charge. If the charge takes an hour and a half or 2 hours, in reality, that's as much time as it takes to drive to the next charger, right? So it's not so much access to plug-in chargers, it's how long you have to stay there to charge up. And you can't charge too fast too often because it may void your warranty. So these are good reasons to keep track of your potential use of an electric vehicle, to make sure that your battery life is maintained and monitored. And if you're buying a used electric vehicle, make sure that you test it beforehand to make sure the battery isn't already run down to where you're not going to have any life left.